Okay. Hello, everyone. Oh, audience participation. Hello, everyone. Yeah, that's better. I'm Dave. I'm feeling a bit humbled here because all these people have suffered with lots of things. I started off. I was 20 stone. I was a chronic asthmatic. I had back problems, very, very high blood pressure into stroke territory. I had nerve damage in my foot and pain up the back of my legs, so I couldn't walk very well. I had a whole list of things wrong with me. The medical system couldn't do anything for me. Everything they gave me made me worse. I tried looking at all sorts of different alternatives, and I finally found something that actually was amazingly effective. And you see like a shadow of the person that was around 8 years ago. And I've gone on a journey helping people for nothing. I travel around helping people. I've helped about 1,000 odd people so far, including my mum. And hopefully, if we get time, you'll see pictures of my mum and her transformation. So I'm going to be talking about the actual truth behind cancer. Hopefully this is going to work. So right now it's epidemic proportions now. Yeah, 1 in 2 people expect to have it. I think in this country it's 1 in 3. Might be 1 in 2 now, but it's getting up there. So if you're sitting next to somebody, one of you is likely to get cancer according to the figures. Right? So, as somebody else said, 100 years ago, it was very, very rare. In fact, breast cancer was known as the nun's disease, because only nuns would get it, because they didn't have children, essentially. Apparently in 2009, 156,000 people died of cancer. 20,000 people die of cancer every year, and it's supposed to be, every day, and every year, 8 million people die of cancer. In fact, just aside, they don't die of cancer, they die of cancer treatment. And 12.6 million new cases diagnosed every year. And they reckon it's going to go to 56 million. So this is what we're dealing with. So what do doctors know about it? Well, they say it's a group of various diseases around malignant cells. That just grow out of control. They say there's many different types of cancer, and it's somehow related to your genetics. So essentially what they're saying is, there's nothing you can do, it's in your genes, live with it. They don't know what causes cancer, and they reckon it's incurable, but they can always treat it with very expensive drugs. So what can they do with it? They can only use what's known as allopathic methods. Does anybody know what allopathic methods are? Do you know what it means? No? It actually means treat only, yay! It means treat only the symptoms, not the actual cause. That's a little crazy. Does that sound crazy to you? Yeah? It's like taking your car into a garage because the engine warning lights come on, and the mechanic taking the bulb out, yeah? Yeah, so it's like the mechanic taking the bulb out, yeah? The symptom's gone, yeah? You can't see the little warning light, right? So everything must be good, right? But no, obviously the problem's still there, getting worse and worse, and eventually there'll be a catastrophic failure, and the mechanic in this case will say, oh no, it's got nothing to do with that light coming on, yeah? Just the same as the doctors. So the 3 treatments that they've got for you are, surgery first, where they hack at you with very sharp knives. They've got radiotherapy, where they actually blast you with radiation, which causes cancer, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. And chemotherapy, which are drugs so poisonous. And you'll see pictures of what happens when they spill chemotherapy drugs on your skin. Just as an aside, somebody told me, directed me to look for a link between chemotherapy drugs and Nazi concentration camps. So I started looking, and a drug name kept coming up, and I was thinking, no, this isn't right. I'm looking for chemotherapy. But this particular drug kept coming up. You might have heard of this drug, thalidomide. Anybody heard of thalidomide? Yeah? Well, you know what? It's chemotherapy. They're using it as chemotherapy drugs. That should make you go, anybody?
Yes.
So the only thing, they talk about prevention, and the only thing there in that list of prevention is healthy lifestyle. I agree with that, yeah? But all this other stuff, sunblock causes cancer. Obviously, most of us don't use sunblock here, but sunblock causes cancer. This chemo prevention, they give you chemotherapy drugs in order to prevent cancer. Chemotherapy drugs that cause cancer. Well, that's not relevant. And preemptive surgery. So, just on the say-so of the doctor, they say you've got cancer, they'll send you for surgery, and they'll hack at you and cut some bits out of you. I don't think this is a good idea, but you know, that's just me. So let's look at these things in a bit more detail. Yeah, loads of surgery and side effects of surgery. You know, a lot of times they go into you and actually make mistakes. They start affecting healthy organs. Now I'm going to have to step back a second and tell you what a tumour is. A tumour is actually, you get some cancerous cells, okay, the cells start growing out of control, and the body, as a way of protecting itself, surrounds those cells in a jacket of healthy cells, yeah? So when, say, you get these malignant cells in the lungs, well, the body uses lung cells to actually surround them. That's why they say there's different cancers. There aren't different cancers. There's just one. Okay, one type of cancer, and it's just in different places. And just because if it's near the liver, it's like the tumour's made up of liver cells, but they say that's a liver cancer. No, it's the same thing. Okay. So literally, your body's protective mechanism is to surround themselves with healthy cells. Well, surgery, they start cutting at the tumour. The symptom, yeah, right? They cut at the tumour. And essentially, they release those cells out to spread. So, what eventually happens is, usually around about 5 years, yeah, those tumours start coming back again. It takes about 5 years for the body to start building tumours again. But you know what? They stop measuring. They stop watching you at exactly 5 years. So if those tumours come back 5 years and 1 day, it's a new cancer, but they call your previous case successfully cured or successfully treated. So yes, though they might claim high numbers for a success rate, the actual success rate is 4 to 5%, more towards the 4%. That's a 96% failure rate. Who would do anything with a 96% failure rate? Radiotherapy, same thing. It's using radiation to burn away at the symptom, the tumour. Yeah, but once again, the radiation is way more effective on healthy cells. So it literally burns away the jacket and lets the tumour cells out. So they spread. Blah blah blah. Again, a 4 to 5% success rate. Success rate, and the side effects are essentially radiation poisoning, yeah, and hair loss and infertility, you know, damage to lungs, bone marrow, all this stuff. Chemotherapy, okay, again, same sort of thing, 4% success rate. This time they use very, very powerful poisons to actually try and kill the cancer cells in the tumour, the symptom. But again, it's much more effective at killing healthy cells. So it kills the healthy cells and lets the tumour, the malignant cells free. So it spreads the cancer. Again, the chemotherapy has lots and lots and lots of negative side effects, including like chemo brain. Ever heard of chemo brain? It's like a brain fog. Yeah, that you know, you just like you're drunk all the time. It's just, yeah, not good. So this is that picture I was telling you about. This is what it looks like if the chemo drugs actually spill onto the skin. Yeah, serious burns. This is what they're injecting inside of you if you get chemo. Not a good idea in my opinion, but you know, you make my own hands up. So what the doctors themselves say. A study of over 10,000 patients shows clearly that chemo's supposedly strong track record with Hodgkin's disease, lymphoma, is actually a lie. Patients who underwent chemo are 14 times more likely to develop leukemia and 6 times more likely to develop cancers of the bones, joints and soft tissue than patients who do not undergo chemotherapy. Yes, this is a doctor talking here. If a patient with a tumour is receiving radiation or chemotherapy, the only question that's asked is, how is the tumour doing? No one ever asks how the patient is doing. In my medical training, I remember well seeing patients who were getting radiation or chemotherapy. The tumour would get smaller and smaller, but the patient would be getting sicker and sicker. At autopsy, we would hear, isn't that marvellous, the tumour is gone. Yes, it was, but so was the patient. As a chemist trained to interpret data, it is incomprehensible to me that physicians can ignore the clear evidence that chemotherapy does much, much more harm than good. These doctors, it's not me saying this. Most cancer patients in the country die of chemotherapy. Chemotherapy does not eliminate breast, colon or lung cancers. This fact has been documented for over a decade, yet doctors still use chemotherapy for these tumours. Women with breast cancer are likely to die faster with chemo than without it. I can go on, I'm not going to do all these because I've got, that's not long to talk. I usually do 2-hour talks, so I've been cramming this down into 1 hour.
Got an hour, okay.
Yeah, yep, got it.
So about 45 minutes about
Okay.
time.
In 1976, doctors went on strike in Los Angeles, and the death rate fell by 18%. In Israel, they did the same thing, went down by 50%. You can bet, as soon as those doctors went back to work, the death rate went straight back up again. What does that tell you? Don't go near doctors. Death by doctor is now so common that depending on whose numbers you look at, it's the #1 cause of death in America, or #2, again, depending on whose numbers you look at. But they've coined a phrase for it, iatrogenic death. And I don't know if you've come across these news stories, you probably can't read them, but this is a case of a doctor who was prescribing chemotherapy drugs. He was diagnosing people with cancer who didn't have cancer, so that he could sell them chemotherapy drugs and get a kickback off the government. He was making millions, right? And none of these patients had cancer.